It was that and the Yeti was busy making the toys. It's like, paint it blue. No, you gotta paint it blue. And he's like, and it has like all these toys that all painted. It's like, damn it! That becomes a running gag.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Apparently we were wrong all this time. It's not the elves who make the toys, it's the Yetis.
The Wookiees.
Wookiee Yetis, whatever. And the elves, yeah, they're apparently special. I think Santa just keeps them around just for the sake of keeping them around.
That's the one thing I didn't like about it, is like, you know, the elves do, and every time they represent Santa Claus, any movie, any TV show, there's always, the elves are always, you know, they're there. Mm-hmm. They're always the ones that are making the toys. Here, it's kind of setting them back. It's like, here it's like, the elves, they think they're helping, but they're not. I'm just like, yeah.
They're basically the minions from Despicable Me, when you think about it.
That's what I thought too. That's what I also gathered from the TV spots before watching this movie. I'm just like,
yeah, because like they're pretty much just like semi-mute little creatures that talk in squeaky voices and are there just for comedic effect. They really have no purpose in the movie. It's not like they control the outcome of anything.
They're just there for comedic purposes. So then again, the Yetis are also there for comedic purposes.
Yeah, that's the thing. All of them get like little minions. Like obviously you expect Santa to have the elves, but then the Tooth Fairy has like these little hummingbird creatures that are the ones that actually go out and get the teeth. It's not her. And then Easter Bunny has walking eggs. Walking eggs.
They are the Eggmen. And I am the walrus.
Pikachu. But I was confused at that part because I'm thinking.
Yeah, you were confused with the egg part.
I was very confused because I'm thinking, okay, so I've watched the story of Peter Cottontail, 2 versions of it, by Rankin Bass, and I think it's Rankin Bass, whatever. And I'm thinking, like, okay, so what are they gonna have? Are they gonna have other bunnies? Are they gonna have chickens or? I don't know, some sort of weird Easter-related thing, and it's eggs with little arms and little legs.
They don't have arms, they just have the legs.
I thought they had arms, too.
No, that's just legs.
Yeah. It's weird! It is so weird, especially because they are the ones that are being painted and decorated and everything, and then they pretty much march themselves out to be found and then eaten.
You know, what? For kids.
What the hell? I don't know what to think of that. I really don't.
I was too entranced with everyone playing with the children about the eggs. Like I didn't mind the little egg parade that they were doing with trying to get the eggs painted. And
yeah, I guess it saves on manpower if you have, you know, your resources like decorate themselves. I'm just saying it's really weird. It's like if you went to the Thanksgiving world and you just had a bunch of turkeys march themselves off down the line where they all get their heads chopped off and then decorated for Thanksgiving. That's kind of what it's.
God. That is just
You standing on me?
That is not a guardian for Thanksgiving.
And this is why you never see a mascot for Thanksgiving, or a Thanksgiving movie for that matter, that doesn't involve a dead turkey. Unless
the Pilgrims and the Indians are from outer space, and Miles Standish had to. That's an episode of South Park. I'm sorry, but there's a lot of comedic moments with this movie. Much of this movie is very action oriented. It's very much an action movie. There's a lot more. It's a lot more drama than comedy. I mean, there's comedic elements. Mm-hmm. I thought going into this it would be like, oh, it's another comedy. No, it's an action movie.
It really is. I mean,
especially like when they're on the sleigh. It's just and how they're just like flying around, and like in the Easter Bunny's like, oh, I think I'm gonna be sick, and
I sympathize. I gotta say though, like it really does make me wish that we had seen this in 3D, just to see how the effects would be, because obviously you can see this movie was made for 3D.
and that's the thing now with 3D films, is that it's not so much like I pointed out in the Frankenweenie review where I said, they have that one thing where it's like coming right at you, the reach. Instead, it's more like the wide angle, long streaming action sequence, like in Tintin with that really long thing with the map, or in the Avengers with the different, where each Avenger had their chance to fight off the different.
This thing goes on forever.
That's pretty much that kind of thing. Here, they kind of had that, with the sleigh a little bit, but not as much. But it still had that wide shot, them just flying around doing all these loop-de-loops, like a roller coaster, that kind of thing. And
I'd say though that was really hard to follow though, because it was confined a lot, because they were basically going in between cars and everything, and you had both the kid and Jack Frost in close proximity, and it felt like it was really crunched together. I could barely make out what was going on or what direction they were going to head in.
Yeah, it was. I could say it is a bit difficult to follow, because like I said, it's
Yeah, plus sometimes it goes so fast you can't even really follow them, or even get a feel of where they're going or anything. Because I'm like, whoa, where's it going? Oh, look there. Oh, what?
That does kind of. They don't really use the sleigh that much, but I mean, they do have a lot of the scenes with where Pitch, and he has these those horsemen of the apocalypse, minions coming in with this big wave of black. Huh?
I like to call them Thestrals. Harry Potter. That's what they looked like.
Yeah, they do actually.
Or any sort of nightmare horse or something. They were pretty cool looking though.
I just thought that was the horsemen of the apocalypse.
That too.
What they would ride on.
And I'm Death Pony. That's what the original was made from. That's what Pitch did. He pretty much just somehow managed to figure out how to corrupt the dreams that Sandman was sending to the kids. And you see him go up to this one girl, she's sleeping, and she's imagining she's riding on a pony or something.
So she's riding a unicorn or
something like that. It's all big and squishy and cute and everything. And he just touches it and suddenly rears back and it's convulsing and it turns to this giant black stallion. And I'm like, holy shit.
Overall, I like this movie. I think it's underrated, and I wish. And there was a guy who I follow on Twitter, and he says, why aren't more people seeing this movie? This movie is awesome, and
I agree.
And it is good. It really is. I mean, it's a great kid action flick.
I sort of had two theories as to why it's not doing as well. One is because I think the reason they're pulling it early is because they're preparing for The Hobbit, and
that could be one. That's probably one of the main reasons, because The Hobbit, even though it's going to make a lot of money, there's not going to be a lot of show time, a lot of time. You're only going to get 3 or 4. Excuse me. You're only going to get 3 or 4 showings because it's a 3-hour movie. Which is going to be our next video review is going to be The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey, and that's going to be 3 hours.
But yeah, that, and the second reason is, again, sort of what I thought going in, is that this was going to be a kids movie. Because think about it, it's a cartoon, basically a cartoon, animated film that features characters that only kids believe in. And when you think about it, it's kind of a good metaphor for the movie. It's watching this movie is sort of having a leap of faith, sort of believing in those characters. I mean, of course, adults wouldn't want to see it because, adults don't believe in Santa, adults don't believe in the Easter Bunny or anything like that. Why would they want to watch this film? So, in a way, I guess it's all a matter of, appealing to the vast majority, and unfortunately, I don't think the movie, does that well in, doing that. I mean, they do in terms of, promoting, the 3D and showing the more action-y parts, but at the same time, they show all those little goofy parts with, the elves and everything, and I think that's kind of what kills it. Marketing-wise,
I think so, too. There definitely is a lot more, deeper adult message in this movie. I mean, it's something that both kids and adults can relate to, and I think that's the one problem with it, is that it's not bringing in the adults. I mean, we were able to go because, you know, I was intrigued just by the concept of, you know, Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, Jack Frost come in and save the world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, I'm in. But I don't know, to a lot of people, I mean, maybe to a lot of parents who want to see this, I mean, you think, oh, it's all kiddie. It's like, how is this different from any other, like, kids film that came out this year?
True. It also might be one of those films where, you know, you think that, oh, it's kiddie enough where I'm not going to like it. At the same time, it looks too adult for my kids to enjoy.
But you know what? It could make it up in DVD sales.
I hope so, because really, like, this movie does deserve praise, you know, just for the amount of creativity and original thought that went into, like, revamping these characters that we thought we knew all these years and putting a brand new mythos behind everything. Like, I really give it props for that. And heck, the animation is stunning. It really is, especially, like, the effects. I mean, I know they were made for 3D, but the way that they looked just, you know, in regular 2D was amazing. You know, especially, like, the sand effects and everything, and, like, the frost effects. I really like those. Those are pretty.
Oh, yes. But still, Santa Claus with dueling swords. How can you not go wrong with this? Seriously. If you don't see it, at least get it when it comes out on DVD or on Netflix. I mean, seriously. Santa Claus, dueling swords, that's all I have to say about this.
So that was Rise of the Guardians. Like I said, definitely the must-see Christmas movie of this year anyway. I don't think there's any other Christmas films coming out, is there?
You know, you would think there would be more.
You'd think.
I mean, a lot of the times around this year, there's usually some Christmas film, usually some bad Christmas comedy about, you know, something about Danny DeVito and Matthew Broderick fighting over Christmas decorations, or Will Ferrell dressed up as an elf. But you would think they'd make a sequel to that. But no, there really isn't any other holiday movie, mostly because The Hobbit. Let's be honest, because
freaking Hobbit stealing Christmas away from us.
And Les Mis.
That too.
It's got Les Mis. I mean,
that excuses it though.
That's probably why there aren't any other, like, Christmas themed like holiday movies coming out. It's it's mostly because of The Hobbit.
Not to mention, pretty much every Christmas film has been done to death. There's Christmas Carol. How many of those have we seen? It's a Wonderful Life parodies. Santa Claus is coming into town. Seriously, like, I was in Barnes Noble the other day. I saw Christmas films had its own section of FYE. Like, seriously, a whole entire shelf dedicated to Christmas films. That is how many freaking Christmas films there is.
But it does make it convenient.
It does. I'll admit. But, no, I definitely see Rise of the Guardians becoming a Christmas favorite in later years. You know, once people give it more of a chance.
And like I said, once it gets to, you know, I think it's probably going to do better with on DVD, you know, on Netflix. You know, once it becomes available for, you know, people to rent it, it's like, oh, it's going to, like, catch on fire. Kind of like with a lot of films that got, like, that didn't do too well in the box office, but, like, video sales, you know, like Office Space or.
And you have people watch it and be like, yay, I don't have to feel ashamed watching this.
Then we brag about it on the internet, like we do now.
Yes.
So next time, The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey.
An Unexpected
Part
Journey.
1.
Part 1.
Of 3.
Of 3. Dear God. Wish us luck. In the meantime, I'm Cat C. Critic.
And I'm Y2 Staller.
And Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and if you don't celebrate any of that, then happy shut the fuck up. Take care, everyone.